Melissa is poised to become a powerful hurricane, and that poses big problems. I'm meteorologist Andrew Markowitz, and here's what you need to know. Tropical storm Melissa continues to spin in the Caribbean Sea and remains a large asymmetrical blob. This indicates the presence of wind shear, which will initially make it difficult for Melissa to intensify. The problem is Melissa is currently sitting in extremely warm waters that have been totally untapped this season and will likely remain there for several days. This means that if wind shear subsides, then the potential is there for Melissa to undergo rapid intensification. Indeed, as expected, the models have really upped the ante on the intensity forecast. Many are showing Melissa reaching major hurricane category 3 or above intensity, and some even show category 5. In fact, not only do some hurricane-specific models show Melissa becoming category 5, but they also show it becoming one of the strongest storms that we have ever seen on Earth. Is that overdone? Probably, but I also don't think it's entirely far-fetched. We have seen repeatedly over the years that when storms enter pristine environments with extremely warm sea surface temperatures, that they tend to overperform in intensity. When you also factor in that there's an ample amount of moisture in the atmosphere, as well as a strong jet stream to the north, there's really not much to hold Melissa back. I think the only thing that could prevent her from reaching her full potential is something structural. So suffice to say, the ceiling on this storm is very high. Model guidance is in better agreement that Melissa will slowly make her way to the west-northwest before eventually turning to the right. The ensemble mean favors landfall in Jamaica and or Cuba before heading to the Bahamas. If we take a look at model trends from the past few days, you can see there has been a very clear adjustment to the west, and that is problematic because that gives Melissa more time over the open warm waters of the Caribbean and therefore favors a more intense storm. If Melissa takes a track like that, which is by no means set in stone, that would mean a devastating storm for Jamaica and parts of Cuba, the Bahamas, and Haiti. No matter which way Melissa goes, it is still going to be a significant, if not major, storm for some areas, but a westward shift would mean lower impacts for Hispaniola and eastward in the Caribbean, but also would mean a worse storm for Cuba and the Bahamas, and it's also not impossible that those outer bands get closer and closer to Florida and the Cayman Islands. As far as U.S. impacts go, still looks like models are overwhelmingly showing a miss with the storm remaining offshore, but I'm not 100% ready to slam the blinds shut. In fact, if we look at the afternoon run of the Canadian, which I'm sure you saw on social media, it actually showed a Hurricane Sandy 2.0 into the northeast. Do I believe that? Absolutely not. That is very much an outlier compared to every other piece of guidance, and in fact, if you look at the previous run, it shows absolutely nothing. Is that scenario impossible? No, but it's extremely unlikely. It's basically the same as Penn State winning a national championship this year. If you know, you know. Anyway, if you are in any of those aforementioned areas in the Caribbean, now is the time to be on high alert and to potentially start preparing for a major storm. And if you are planning to vacation there or are supposed to be on a cruise, then I think now is the time to start looking into alternative arrangements if need be. It is still way too early to nail down specific details, but I am becoming very concerned in some areas, and that is not something I say lightly as a meteorologist. Please share this video with anybody in the path of the storm, and make sure that you are following only reputable sources, degreed and professional meteorologists, and local government agencies. Sadly, there are a lot of people who are dishonest and fearmonger for clout, not because they want to help people, and that is very important that you do not listen to them in a life-threatening situation. For daily updates on Melissa and other severe weather all around the world, please make sure to follow me on all social media platforms so you can stay weather aware.